Hello, Christo and channel members, viewers, and subscribers. Today we are going to discuss about a very peculiar topic, which is Publons. I'm going to explain it in English. So I can very well confidently say that Publons is a one-stop solution for all of the services of Thomson Reuters. May it be researcher ID or maybe arcade or maybe EndNote or maybe Web of Science, everything gets linked, everything gets integrated with the Publons. And in Publons, you can enjoy indexing of your research articles either automatically or maybe manually. So normally earlier during the times when we used to create a researcher ID profile, we used to create a ORCID profile, we used to create my EndNote profile, and then you are going to index separately for all of your research publications, may it be conference or maybe research articles. You are going to index it separately. But if you create an account in Publons and if you interlink, which means if you are going to sync it, which means that your publications is going to showcase separately in each of your individual platforms, and that's the advantage. So just like your Aadhaar card or maybe your national ID card, you are going to interlink with each of your research publications. So before going into Publons, I would like to share with you the researcher ID profile of Thomson Reuters. Actually, this is my personal website. So what I already have a snapshot of the researcher ID profile. For example, this was the old link. Okay, I'm trying to find to. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. This was the old researcher ID. Okay, like back in 2016 when I created a profile in researcher ID. This was the thing. Like I had my researcher ID, I had my arcade which is interlinked. Okay, this is the URL I had with the researcher ID. I have my email ID, the institution. Okay, and my role. Okay, so I have all my publications here in researcher ID. Okay, and also I have my arcade profile as well. Okay, so this was the researcher ID link back in those olden golden days, and now that thanks to Publons, because everything has been interlinked. Like we have researcher ID, we have arcade, we have EndNote, we have Thomson Reuters, Web of Science. Okay, so it's a good advantage that you create an account in Publons. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for Publons in the internet. I'm getting some detailed statistics about Publons. So it's a commercial website which provides a free service for academicians to track, verify, and showcase their peer review. Also, the editorial contributions as well. Like you need not have to showcase only your research publications. For example, if you have reviewed for a Scopus journal or maybe a Web of Science Index journal, like several ISI or maybe Web of Science or maybe SCI Index journals, which means that automatically after you have reviewed one particular research article, which means that you'll be getting an email in your personal email ID whether to add this peer review in the Publons profile, and if you click on yes, which means that it gets automatically added to Publons. So that's a great advantage, because now not only you are showcasing your quality research publications, but also you can show some of your good peer reviews, which means that several journals, several researchers will try to approach you for quality evaluation. So that's a thing. So maybe if somebody is going for any paper evaluation, so maybe they will refer you as a potential reviewer, so you can showcase them in the Publons profile. And Publons is the only platform where researchers will look for your quality peer reviews and your quality research publications. So make sure you try to update everything in the Publons. Okay. So it was actually maintained by Clarity. Okay, so you have heard about MJL, Master Journal List of Clarity Analytics. So that comes intact with this Publons. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to sign into Publons. I have already created my profile with Publons. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in. So instead of creating our own account with the the Publons, what I'm going to do is maybe I can log in using login, or maybe sign in using Facebook, or maybe Google, or maybe Orchid, or maybe LinkedIn, or maybe using WeChat. Okay, so normally I choose Orchid because Orchid is my individual digital academic professional ID card. So I log in using this Orchid profile. So after logging into Orchid, which means that immediately it grants access to my Publons. So which means I have a private dashboard, with a summary. Okay. So with regards to this Web of Science that's been interlinked, we can generally go through Web of Science, or maybe you can go for Master Journalist from here. Okay, you can go for EndNote from here, or maybe you can go for EndNote Click as well. Okay, so that's the way. Okay, like you can log in from here directly. So that's a huge advantage. That's what I told you. Okay, so you can do whatever you want to. Okay, so that's an advantage. See, which means it automatically gets logged in, okay, into the master journalist. So as I told you in my previous videos, whenever you are going to check for any journal, okay, whether it may be Scopus or SCI or maybe ISA index journals, so which means that we have to check in scopus.com, as well as we have to check for master journalist mjl.claritative.com. So that's the journal you are looking for. Okay, make sure you search this journal, or maybe ISSN, or maybe the title word, and accordingly you will be getting the relevant search results. Okay, for example, let us take in the case, I'm searching for one particular journal. Let us take in the case. So which means I will be getting the search result of that particular journal. Okay, it's in SCI, or maybe what and all. It has been indexed. Maybe it is a ESCA, and it is indexed in zoological record as well. Even I can see the ISSN as well. Okay, like if I see the profile page, view profile page, maybe I can get the information. Okay, maybe the publisher website I can see. Okay, I can see the publisher website. The first year it was published was back in 1820. Okay, number of issues per year, the primary language. Okay, so the indexing, so it comes under core collection SCIE. Okay, so you can go through a list of information, the various details about that website, and you can come to a conclusion whether this particular journal has been indexed in Scopus, whether this particular journal has been indexed in Web of Science. So that you can check with the Publons. Okay, so if you go through this Publons, okay, so you can get access to Web of Science, you can get access to Master Journalist, you can get access to EndNote, you can get access to EndNote Click. Back when I created my individual profile in EndNote, I created an individual profile. Okay, but now thanks to Publons, which means that via Publons I am getting access to this EndNote. So that's a great advantage. Like even if I try to add this, it's a reference identifier. Okay, EndNote is a reference identifier, which means that if I try to input this title, okay, and the journal name and the month and year of publication, if I click on this URL, maybe it immediately gets forwarded to the the URL. It will be pointing to the URL of that particular paper. Okay, so it's a huge advantage. I can see a list of all the papers which have been added. Maybe what you can do is you can add it in Publons and you can exchange with the EndNote. Okay, you can add it in EndNote and you can exchange with Publons. Okay, so that's a great advantage. Maybe you can add it in Orchid and you can sync with Publons. So you can do it either way, but only thing, you have to add it only once. Okay, so you can exchange it. Okay, so that's a thing. And very recently that this Publons has come up with EndNote Click. So you try to create an account with EndNote Click. So that's one of the Thomson Reuters products that you can enjoy. So remember these names: EndNote Click. We have mjl.claritative.com, and we have Web of Science. So make sure you try to create these accounts, and you can exchange the services. Okay, just like we have an Aadhaar card, we have a PAN card, we have a voter ID, we have a driving license. So which means that the information what you're trying to update is the same for all of the things. Okay, so make sure you maintain the correct name. Okay, so this is where everybody tries to make a mistake. Okay, so for example, if your name is Christo Ananth, I mention it as Christo Ananth in all of the profiles. So, and also the publications, like the title, I mention it correctly. The journal, I mention it correctly. The month and year, mention it correctly. Okay, so maintain a uniform order so that it becomes searchable for everybody. It becomes for you tend to follow the others research articles. And then you have here, okay, the settings icon. Okay, so which means I have a private dashboard. Even I can click on this view profile. Okay, so this is how the my profile gets shown to other researchers. Okay, so that's the thing. You can go for this one. Maybe I probably mean to be referred as Chris, or maybe Christo, or maybe Christo Ananth. Maybe it shows up, and my affiliation as well. You can update your affiliation even, and I can see the most cited publications, and my 10 research publications also will be there, and also my peer review summary. Okay, so I have my verified reviews. Okay, maybe I can this particular journal, like measurements and control, I have regularly reviewed. Okay, but the thing is that I have not yet added much of the peer reviews here, and that's the reason it has not shown up. Okay, so which means I have to update it every time, and I have to do it in order to collaborate with other researchers and to make other researchers follow me. Okay, and yes, so this is what I'm talking about, the view profile section, and then you have a section called generate Publons CV. So you can actually what are the information that you have updated, maybe with regards to funding, or maybe research, or maybe conferences, or maybe peer review, everything, awards, everything. It will be exported as a CSV format, which means that you can show it anywhere when you are trying for any research position, or maybe any academic position you want to. So that's the advantage we have over here. And then we have a set of notifications. Okay, so which means that it shows like zero unseen. Okay, so which means that every of my notifications have been read by me. Okay, so which means see a publication in your review has been published. So that also is a notification that I have received. Okay, and I have a section called settings. Okay, so like I can update my new photo if I want to. Okay, like profile details, like the alternate names, research fields I can update. Make sure you enter only the relevant research fields. Don't try to enter anything. Okay, and default publication ordering, I'm trying to mark it as most cited. So okay, so this is my preference. Okay, also like my the dashboard summary, even I can do so. Okay, so this is my dashboard summary. Okay, I can track my citations, get the Web of Science core collection citation counts, manage my reviews, see my profile, and export my Publons CV. One thing I would like to inform you that back in 2016 or 2017, when you have to create an account in Web of Science, which means you should have an institutional account. Okay, they say it as Athens login. Okay, so only then you can create your account. Okay, you can see your core collection Web of Science journals, maybe your research publications, if they are in Web of Science. But nowadays, thanks to Publons, if you are logging into Publons, means you can access into Web of Science login as well. So that's a huge thing. So you can track the Web of Science citations as well. So just like you see the Scopus citations in scopus.com, so normally in Web of Science citations you can see it in Publons as well, and you can manage your reviews, and you can see your profile as well. And there are some recent notifications about survey as well. Maybe you can take them. Okay, and we can see the author impact as well, and how to read this beam plot. Okay, and then we have the publication metrics as well over the last week or maybe last month. Okay, so that thing you should know. Okay, because it is all about how you perform. So it's if you are not performing well, which means that you are not pacing up to the standard, okay, which means you have to run fast, okay. So that's the way with the case of statistics and metrics that Publons is showing, okay. So the reviews, maybe if it has gone down, the publications, if it has gone down, time cited, if it has gone down, which means that you have to work more, okay, in order to sustain in this field, okay. And then here we have a settings like automatically add reviews, okay. So maybe I can choose to add an automatic review, okay. Maybe I can review on the settings, okay. So it will be giving like several tips, okay, about automatically add the reviews from the publication partners, okay. Maybe I can apply these settings to all of your existing pre-publication reviews, okay. The author preference also I can have, like allow I can have, okay. Maybe on all of the existing publications I can add these settings to my existing publications, okay. And I can keep my ORCID review list up to date with my publication count as well. And then I can have the revoke permission as well as update ORCID record from Publons as well. If I click on the save changes, which means that I can add these settings, okay, like which means that you can connect to ORCID in order to sync as well. So it shows that they were not able to connect to ORCID. Maybe during the time when there is connection, when there is good connection, which means that you can do that and you can see the profile being saved successfully. So which means that's a huge thing. So since I have interlinked with the ORCID record, so all of my ORCID record generally gets updated, which means if you are indexing in Publons, you can index in ORCID as well, okay. And the reviews, everything gets synced with the ORCID. So that's a huge thing. And also we have a citation map as well. So this is the citation map. Maybe you can for precise locations you can see the details of the papers which have been cited from a particular city. So that's like a Google map. If you are trying to find a particular place, okay, you can go there if you want to. But according to the Google map, those people, those who have cited, that also is shown in Publons. So this is a good advantage. And then we have Web of Science Academy here with Publons. So here we have a Web of Science Academy. We are you tend to offer, you tend to enjoy several courses here, okay. So they have an academy for sciences, for humanities, for peer review, how to increase your citations, how you can generally cope up or maintain the citations, okay, or maybe how you can go for quality peer review, how you can co-review with a mentor. So ethical publishing behavior, everything they are trying to showcase several of the webinars, okay. So you can go through several courses here. So what you do, you enroll and sign in here. Maybe if you have logged into this Publons, which means that you can sign in here. So that's a huge way that you can connect. Also with the case of scored publications, okay. So you can, with the case of scored publications, maybe constant publications which have a meaningful impact, you can add them, okay. So you can add the publication score, okay. Maybe you can go for add a publication score, okay. So maybe you can go for meaningful comparisons, okay, the quality, significance, overall categorization, everything you can add the score, okay. I haven't added them, but you can add them. And then here you have a section called journals, okay. So these are the journals which I have normally published, okay. So I can see them, even reviewer interest I can go through, because okay, this is the journal endorsements I'm seeing, okay. So these are the journal I know very well, okay. So which means I'm endorsing this particular journal, I'm believing this journal, okay. Also the reviewer interest, these journals I'm endorsing, which means that I'm believing that this is a genuine journal, and that's the reason I have reviewed, or maybe this is the journal I have published my research article. And then I have a section called researcher ID badge, say I have the researcher ID badge. Okay, so that's I've already told you. Okay, researcher ID I have this one. Okay, but back in those days when researcher ID, it should be researcherid.com / my researcher ID. So now researcher ID comes with Publons, which means it's interlinked. Okay, so they have naturally closed this researcher ID. Now they have included this Publons. Okay, and I can even generate a badge code even. Okay, maybe I can showcase in any of the HTML codes. Okay, I want to. So that's a huge advantage, as I told you. And even with the case of affiliations as well, I can update them if I want to. Okay, so editorial board memberships, I can add them. Reviewers, I can add them. Okay, and also we have email, we have permissions as well. I can get the reviews from the partners as well. I can allow Publons to automatically add all the future reviews. Okay, so that's the way. Maybe automatically add reviews from the Publons partners, and I can set the pre-publication review display preferences as well. Okay, so that's also one huge thing I can do that. Also, with the case of email, I can set the login email. Okay, maybe I can change them. Okay, availability, I'm available to review. Okay, I have set the email preferences to be receiving the notification whenever any event comes up, or maybe whenever I've reviewed any articles. Okay, maybe how to use Publons. So everything I'm getting the notification. So I have set the email preferences. Okay, so this is all about the private dashboard that we have. And then if I go through this Publons, I'm trying to close everything so that you will not never get confused, right? So if I click on this publications, okay, which means that I can see a list of my publications. Okay, so even the citation count also appears. Try to understand that citation count here refers to the citation count in Publons, or maybe citation count in Web of Science. Maybe you might have several citations in ResearchGate. You might have several citations in Google Scholar, but this is completely different. Okay, Web of Science citations, Web of Science index research publications. So these publications, these citations only showcase here, and you need not have to add everything. Okay, just like import publications means you can naturally sync it. So that's what I told you. If you have an account in Arcade, if you have an account in EndNote, which means that if you have updated, means you can import all the publications. If I suppose, let us take in the case, if I'm importing all the publication, maybe I can sync with Arcade. Okay, maybe I can go for manual file upload also. That also I can do that. Okay, maybe as a CSV file, or maybe RIS file, or maybe BibTeX file, I can do that. Similarly, maybe if I added in Arcade, maybe if I'm syncing it, maybe just with a matter of maybe maybe 30 seconds or so, it gets synced. Okay, so that's a huge thing that you can do with this Publons, and you need not have to enter it again and again. So that's the advantage you have. So you can add the publications, and you can find a list of the citations as well. And here is a section of peer reviews. You can add a review manually also, and also you have a section called grant review. Okay, which is going to request recognition from a funder. So which means they will have a grant review as well for reviews. So that's also an advantage. So try to explore each and every section in your Publons, which means that you will have a tendency to grow. Okay, so here are the list of peer reviews. Okay, I have reviewed for these number of journals, and they have this many number of citations as well. So you can click on them, you can go through them. Okay, so you can filter the manuscripts which are scored and which have been published. Okay, and similarly verified, with content or without content, post publication, publicly displayed, everything you can see. So Publons, as I told you, is a one-stop solution for everything. So try to add more reviews to your profile, try to add more badges to your profile, and you can index your research publication just by a single click. and then you have editor records as well. Okay, so that also you can go for. You can add an editor record. For example, if you are an associate editor or maybe reviewer, maybe if you have got some badges, if you have got some awards, then you can add this recognition in your profile. Maybe somebody who visits your profile will see your editor record, will see a badge, maybe will see an award, and maybe they will go for contacting you for editorialship. Okay, so that's also one such thing. And similarly, you have pending records as well. Okay, so that also you can go through the pending records. Maybe there are some pending email reviews or maybe editing records that will show in the pending records. So that's also you can go for. And we have a Publons browsing section as well. So I can go through my search my publications. Okay, I want to. Okay, and maybe the other publications are as well, the quality publications I can go through. Okay, according to the recent years of publication, it gets aligned automatically, which means if this publication or maybe the paper falls into my research area, I can follow them, I can use them. Okay, so maybe I can have a chance to collaborate and then increase my citations as well. And then I have a community. Okay, we have a community for awards, we have a community of how I can advance my career, how I can use the Clarity blog as well. Maybe maybe if I click on this awards, we have global peer review awards. Maybe according to the peer review that you are offering continuously from time to time, I can create a reviewer profile. Maybe like potential researchers will try to approach me according to the review that I have submitted. So Publons is a place where you can have access to everything and anything, even with regards to career as well. Maybe with regards to your CV, how to you can maybe take up some training courses or modules, or how you can go for receiving several prestigious and renowned fellowships, how you can secure promotions in your particular position, accelerate your career. You can go for the Publons peer review. So that's a way you can go for individual evaluations. Maybe you can get a study visa or maybe work visa to work abroad as an outstanding researcher. So Publons is all about securing a researcher position. Okay, and you can go for promotion, you can go for job, you can go for funding, you can go for grants as well. Okay, the national grants, international grants you can go for, and continuing education as well. So it's a they have several testimonials as well. So that's a huge thing that you can go for several of the services. Make sure you try to explore each of the things. So that's a huge way to connect as well. And we have a Clarity blog as well. So don't forget to go through the blog section, so you can enjoy several of the products as well as the services. And even we have the chief operation officer who is explaining about several things about how you keep intact with the blogs. Okay, how you gain momentum on the intellectual property right, or maybe web of science, innovation in agriculture. So several blogs are there. Okay, so maybe it might be useful for your career, research career as well. And then you have a section of frequently asked questions about the home page, about the reviewers, for editors, for authors, for publishers, or maybe for Web of Science Academy. You can ask any question. Maybe there are some questions which are available. Maybe you can go through them and then you can ask for any questions if you want to. So that's the way you connect with researchers. Maybe you can get some meaningful answers. You can post some relevant questions also. And maybe if you want to delete or maybe merge your Publons account, that also you can have several questions. So you have questions for editors, for authors, for publishers. Suppose if you want to generally accelerate your career, you have your frequently asked questions, you can ask them. Maybe they will give you the link of maybe the question or maybe the answer if it has been already posted. So Once again, I should remind you that it's a one-stop solution for everything. So make sure you add your peer reviews and your research publications as well. And don't forget to index your research publications here, and you can sync it to your quality ORCID or maybe EndNote or maybe your Web of Science as well. So if you have any doubts or clarifications with respect to Publons, you can ask me in the comment section. Also, if you have any personal experience of how well you can use Publons, you can share them so that our fellow researchers will tend to gain some idea out of your experience. Thank you.